There are two major anime atrocities in massively popular series that I can't ignore any longer. One issue in particular that stands above them all is something I refer to as the Cardinal Sin of anime. Now, before I get to what the Cardinal Sin of anime is, let's talk about the first two atrocities that will change the future of weekly anime. So stick around for these reveals and find out what the Cardinal Sin of anime is. Can you see what the issue is in this scene in Dragon Ball Super? Is it the colors being too bright? No, that can't be it. Maybe it's the sound. No, that can't be it either because I've muted it for copyright reasons. It's actually, you guessed it, the dog animation. If you've seen any anime, cartoon, claymation, or whatever, you know just how badly a scene can be ruined from animation. This isn't me having a jab at the animators, not at all. Animators have a tough job and are treated like absolute donkey with outrageous deadlines forced upon them by these big studios. But that's a topic for another day. I'm not here to talk about real life atrocities. I'm here to talk about fun anime atrocities. We're a fun channel. We're having fun today. If you're a manga reader that keeps up with weekly issues, this has probably happened to you countless of times. This fight scene is so sick and well drawn. I can't wait to see it animated. They can't mess this up.
Several months later.
They went with a slideshow. Not my first choice, but...
Why? For the girl?
As my father would say, you're a disappointment. I used to think shit animation was only an issue in weekly running series like One Piece and Naruto, since they've got to pump out 20 minutes of new animation every single week with few breaks in between. But surprisingly to me, this is also a huge problem for animators that work on seasonal shows, since you're getting animation quality from this to this. Absolutely beautiful. Obviously, that's got to take some time and effort. But still, these animators are trying to produce movie quality animation with deadlines that just aren't realistic. However, I do still believe seasonal scheduled anime are part of the solution to rid us of shit animation, and weekly running series will be a thing of the past. And I'll tell you why with anime atrocity number 2. If you've been on the internet at all, you've most certainly seen this phrase in a chat room or forum or two. Read the manga. And if you've ever followed that advice, you most likely agree. The manga, the original work of the creator, is 95% of the time so much better than the anime. Why? Because of one word: pacing. The second anime atrocity is an issue prevalent in long-running weekly series, and why I believe they are a thing of the past. Because of the intense schedule for these animators, producing animations every week, that of which inevitably leads into the anime catching up to the original source material, which causes poorly paced episodes, resulting in dogshit animation. It seems that all studios will eventually turn to a seasonal format to at least help mitigate these pacing issues that occur when there's just not enough manga to adapt. And of course, animators will have more time to animate. The downside to a seasonal format is that yes, there will be longer breaks between each season, but to me, it's clearly worth the wait. After seeing the success of shows like Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer that both follow its own unique release schedule with movie releases and shorter episode seasons, two shows that clearly don't suffer from pacing issues. And then we'd avoid anime atrocities like Goku's constipated screaming for 15 episodes, or Luffy falling over for 45 minutes. And yes, as I said earlier, animators are still getting f***ed over working on seasonal shows. I don't have the solution to remedy these issues, whether it's a cultural thing or it's just a toxic industry that needs the world's greatest HR department. But I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But for now, off of the topic of animators and anime atrocities, moving on to the massive issue currently in anime that's caused mainly by the author and the demand of weekly shonen jump. These characters are part of the Cardinal Sin of anime. What do all of these characters have in common? That's right, you guessed it, they are all side characters. Side characters that had amazing potential to actually make an impact on the story or even just get a little more shine. But alas, they were forgotten. And that is what the Cardinal Sin of anime is: forgetting side characters. You can probably guess, but there are two anime in particular that just throw their side characters in the garbage, and two other anime that beautifully develop their side characters. And I'll get to those in a minute. Let's talk about the shitty ones first. Y'all remember Rock Lee? And I'm not talking about shit poo-poo Dan Rock Lee, I'm talking about chunin gangster Rock Lee. The one that took his training weights off and went to town on the Sandman. The one that got shit-faced and drunken-fisted Jack Skeleton. That Rock Lee. A character with so much potential and uniqueness that could have been great, but Kishimoto decided to go for a more romance-focused story between Naruto and Sasuke. I'm exaggerating, of course, for comedic effect. Thank you. And I love Naruto as much as any other weeb, but it's very sad to see these great side characters go by the wayside. And I'm not just talking about Rock Lee. There's many other great side characters that were all built up in part 1 just to be forgotten. There was so much story to tell with these characters, and of course, there were moments focused on side characters, and in my opinion, they were some of the best episodes, like Shiki Dick avenging his sensei, and the other, that's actually all I can think of at the moment. This was also a major issue in Dragonball Z. There was a huge cast of, dare I say, important side characters that were vital to the story of the original Dragon Ball, which looked like this, then turned into this, and has now stayed like this for 20 plus years. The only time a side character had shown any value in the later part of DBZ was when Tien had to delay Cell, and of course, it was epic. And then that's it. Now he just shows up on a rock randomly saying some vague bullshit. And I don't even know what happened to that poor little clown boy. God have mercy on his soul. But that's enough shitting on series that forget their side characters. Let's talk about the 2 other anime that do side characters well. One of them is of course One Piece, and the other Hunter x Hunter. A reason why One Piece has been going on for 200 plus years is because the author fleshes out all of the characters, from crew members to villains to crew members of villains. Each member of the crew get their moments to shine and are constantly developing throughout the anime. New bits of information about these characters pop up 20 plus years from when they were introduced. Oda meticulously planning out their backstories and endings decades in advance. Hunter x Hunter will have a huge change in focus to show the audience what the f is going on with blonde Sasuke, and then back to Gon, and then whoops, Gon is a burnt sausage at the moment. Let's see what's going on with Thunder Boy. And slowly these storylines are interweaving into the main story. I guess. I actually don't know what's going on with Hiatus at the moment. Is it ever gonna finish? I don't know. The main issue with this style of storytelling is that we're probably gonna die before the conclusion of the anime. Any Game of Thrones book fans out there? That is my rant for the week. The cardinal sin of anime is forgetting side characters. It's a long way of telling you that. Do you agree? Do you think the Naruto anime would have been better if Kishimoto put more focus on characters like Rock Lee or that dog fella? Let me know in the comments below, and like and subscribe if you got any entertainment value from this video. Also, if you want to see a fun video about the 5 types of shonen protagonists, you can click here, or if you want to see a viral skit about why the Switch is better than the PS5, you can click there. That is all. Bye bye.